Now let's take a look at how we can go ahead and start texture painting our Popcan. At the top of our screen, let's go to Window, Settings and Preferences, Plugin Manager. With the Plugin Manager open, we want to make sure that we have OBJ export checked on, which is this guy right here. We also want to make sure that we have on FBX export, which we're going to be using in later videos, which is right here, FBX to Maya. Go up to File, Export All, and on the desktop what I'm going to do is make a folder, and I'm just going to call this Popcan. Inside this window, I'm going to go down and I'm going to find my OBJ export, which is the last option, and just type Popcan again, and then Export All. With Photoshop open, I'm just going to go up to File, Open, and I'm going to navigate to that Popcan folder on my desktop, and I'm going to open up my Popcan. It's going to prompt you for all of these settings. I usually leave my resolution at about 150, and the pixels and all that stuff are fine. I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to pause the video as it loads up. Now with the Create 3D layer open, just go ahead and hit Yes. This is our Maya OBJ file. In order to rotate, you can simply left click and rotate around your can in the view. If you'd like to zoom in and out, down here you have your Orbit 3D camera. This moves the camera itself. This is our pan the camera. And this is our zoom in and out, or our dolly. What we're going to do is just paint a very, very simple face on our can. In the left-hand corner, you'll notice there's a 3D tab. This is the environment. This is where we can control things. For example, our ground plane, the color of our background, things like that, the shadow color on our object. Here's our scene view. This is where we can paint directly on our model. Here's our current view. This controls our camera. And then down here, this is our actual 3D model object, and that allows us to move and move our object around. What we'd like to do is stay within our scene view. In our layers view, it allows us to stack on multiple layers. For example, we can paint on a new layer right on top of this so that we're not drawing directly on our model. And then later, by hitting Control E or merging down, we can merge that onto our can. So I'm going to hit V to get back in so you can see that. Now, if you prefer a 2D view, I prefer to go between 3D and 2D. In our Layer tab, you'll see at the bottom there's an initial shading group. So I'm going to double click this. Here's where you can see those UVs that we rendered out in Maya. So what I'm going to do in here is I'm just going to go ahead and make a very simple light blue color for my can. I'm going to hit Alt Backspace. Now when I go back into Popcan, you can see that it's updated. I'm going to hit B for brush, and just hitting the right bracket, or if you hold Alt and you right click, you can hold the right mouse button, go forward and back, and you can expand your brush or go in and out. I have a whole nother video series on using a tablet. So let's go ahead and with our brush selected, let's make sure our opacity is at 100%. So I'm just going to hit 0 on our keyboard, and I'm going to draw a red circle here. I'm going to hit W for my wand, and then I'm going to hit L for my lasso, and I'm going to hit Alt, and I'm just going to draw out my own sort of generic Popcan symbol, and I'm going to go with black here. And then on this symbol, I'm going to hit Control D to deselect. I'm just going to draw in 2 spheres. So I'm going to hit B again, hold Alt, and move my left by holding Alt and my right mouse button. I'm going to shrink it down, or like I said, you can use the left bracket or right bracket. I'm going to draw out 2 eyes. Then I'm going to make this a bit smaller, and I'm going to draw 2 blue dots. Now let's go back to our Popcan, see it update. I'm going to go ahead and hit V, which is our arrow tool, just to kind of look around. Last thing I'm going to do is just zoom in a little bit, hit B for brush, and I'm going to just paint in some gray for the top and bottom of my can. Just kind of go across here. I'm holding Shift. Let's go in here. You can see we have that gray across our can. So for now, that's pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and save this off into my can folder. So Popcan, I can leave it as a PSD. Here's our Popcan. I'm going to save that off. And then with this view, our initial shading group, I'm going to save this off as a target file. Let's go to our desktop. And with our, I'm going to name this Popcan Diffuse. In the next video, we'll apply this in Maya.